Okay, guys, here's the last guardian in 5 minutes or less. So one day you're just sleeping, minding your own business, when out of nowhere, bam, your ass gets swallowed by a rat-looking creature with wings, who then flies you away to this hollowed-out mountain where, after getting hit by lightning, he crash lands and is then carried away to an area where he gets chained up and then spits you back out, covered in tattoos and weird green goo. It is here that the game officially starts. After freeing him and picking up a shield, the only weapon you get in the entire freaking game, which when aimed at certain object lets Trico shoot out lightning, which later in the game turns into plasma balls. And after this, your main goal is to solve puzzles, feed him these weird green barrels, and break out of this place so you can go back to your village. Along the way, you'll fight only two types of enemies: the soldiers, whose only purpose seems to kidnap you and throw you to this other side of a blue door where you die, and the other enemy is another Trico who happens to be armored up. And of course, along the way, you bond with your companion in this otherwise dead, destitute place. After a lot of puzzle solving and getting beat a lot, you get the shit kicked out of you. You finally get to the middle of the hollow mountain, to this building that is clearly different from the rest, where you have to fight a multitude of soldiers who Trico defeats single-handedly, while you just kind of run around and try to avoid them, because if you crash into them, they pick you up and they fucking carry you to this door where they into this void where you die and you have to start over again. Immediately after this, you make your way up to this alien-looking artifact, which you have to aim your shield at, then climb up above to stop this rotating fan so Trico can get up through. Once you're up above, the alien artifact sends out a signal that calls a crap ton of Tricos back to where you're at. It is here where you find out the horrible truth. I was like, what the fuck? The barrels you've been innocently collecting and feeding Trico are actually humans. And I think they're children, not just any humans, they're fucking kids. There they are brought back and by the Tricos, and then they're dumped into the statue, which then converts them to sustenance for the creatures. So this fucking entire time you've been feeding Trico these barrels, like you've been innocently just giving him these barrels. They're actually humans that you've been feeding him. So this is where you find out that this is what Trico was gonna do to you. He swallowed you and he was gonna throw you into the statue and then fucking eat you, but lightning struck Trico and made him pretty much useless. But unbeknownst to the soldiers, the kid was still inside his stomach. So after you realize all this, all the Tricos gang up on him, push you around like a freaking ragdoll, and then tear off Trico's tail, which they happen to throw into an area where the alien artifact is. Then you go pick up your shield, make your way down, aim at the artifact once again, which makes the tail shoot its plasma balls at it. After this, the building begins to collapse and all the Tricos begin to fall out of the sky. Trico then flies him away back to his village, where he gets treated like shit. He's already almost beat to death, and then there's these humans trying to stab him with a spear. And then the boy, realizing that they're gonna kill him, sends him away back to where he was at. In an after-credit scene, you see him as a man, and then the camera goes back to the area where you were at, and in the darkness you see two sets of eyes. So either there's two left, like they survived, or Trico had kids.